What secret could ruin your life if it got out? To pass my high school graduation writing exam, I just wrote the story to Gears of War because I didn't study or prepare beforehand. LOL, pretty solid story though. Pros strat. If you were able to convey the story on paper well enough without any errors, that's probably all they cared about mostly. When my sister was going through an alcoholic mental health crisis, she decided to tell our family and friends all of my secrets. I was trying to convince her to get help. She resented me for it, and felt exposing me would take the heat off of her. Typical narcissistic behavior, deflecting attention away from themselves. If she is going down, she's going to take me with her. A lifetime worth of sins and regrets that if I could go back in time I might change. Nothing I did was illegal, but some people consider immoral. It was very personal stuff that I never wanted to share. Well, everybody knows now. I was put in a difficult position. It opened conversations I never intended to have with our family. I offered to have an open dialogue and answer any questions. No one cared. It completely backfired on her. In fact, I received love and support, while she's been completely ostracized by most of Outlet's family. They found her behavior to be self-righteous and deplorable. Being found out didn't ruin me, it freed me. I'm mixed up in the fast food game. Sometimes I tell the homeless people around the corner what time we throw out the expired burgers, so they can grab them from the trash. It's explicitly banned in our code of ethics that we sign when we start. That's a good thing that you are doing. Bro, fuck that code of ethics. It's more ethical to give food to the homeless than to throw it away. That I was a heroin addict in my 20s. Been clean 9 years, and no one I work with, or associate with at this point in my life, besides wife, kids, and immediate family, realized that 10 years ago I was an unrecognizable shell of who I am now. I'm currently struggling with addiction, not as serious as a heroin addiction, but it's majorly impacted my life and left me a shadow of my former self. Sometimes it feels like I'll never get to the point of having a family, good job, or friends again, but reading that makes me want to keep trying to get clean and live the life I should be living. When I was 11, I was told to take out the trash, and I did, but, for context, my family had a grill with a box of matches next to it, and it was fall. But I'd burned some dead leaves for like 2 minutes, then I stomped on them to put out the fire, but all did was push it right next to our house, and then the house went up the flames, and my parents had very well-paying jobs, so they were able to pay for the damages, but when the authorities came and firefighters put out the fire, they were wondering how it started, and the authorities suspected someone jumped to the fence and lit up the leaves to burn our house down. Our parents, scared for my life, moved somewhere else, and they lost the jobs and lost a lot of money moving to our new house, and for the next solid 7 years we lived like shit. And my parents still do not know that I'm the reason they have to look like that. Got busted with a lot of computers from my work, about $25,000 worth, and plead guilty to grand theft. They spelled my name wrong birthday, and I never gave them my DL or SSN. I don't remember it, I said over and over during my 90-day incarceration. That was 34 years ago, and I background checked my name every few years with a racy heart each time. Nope. Not there. I'm pretty sure I was molested as a kid by a distant, adult cousin we all called Uncle Junior. My only memory of it is that I had come to the living room to watch Animal Planet really early in the morning before school. I was only in the 2nd grade. He was watching TV from the blow-up mattress and asked if I wanted to cuddle under the covers with him. It was cold, and he was staying with us to keep us safe from our dad, violent drunk who Mom had kicked out, so I said yeah. I remember realizing he was only wearing a t-shirt and boxers when I got under the covers with him, and that made me feel really anxious for some reason. And that he was really warm, which made it worse. And everything after that is blank. I just remember getting a really bad UTI or yeast infection a couple days later, and my mom being really upset about it. Then Uncle Junior didn't stay with us anymore. Maybe it was all one giant coincidence. Maybe I don't remember anything after that because it was a totally normal morning for me, and nothing happened. Maybe he just watched Animal Planet with me and didn't do anything weird or creepy at all. But I've never been able to shake this feeling of anxiety whenever I think about that day. This sort of sinking feeling of dread, like the kind you feel when you know something scary is about to happen while watching a movie, but you just don't know how or when it'll happen. A cousin of mine tried to rape me when I was young, and years later I tried to drown him with a hose. I put the hose at maximum in his throat, but when I heard my parents coming I stopped. After that I said to him, "If you tell anyone about this I'm going to really kill you," but we didn't saw each other after that because his family moved to another state. I draw furry porn and make great money off of it. I have a normal job, but I use the art money for things I want, like expensive clothes or Bath and Body Works candles. Edit. I just woke up and too many of y'all responded, and I don't have time for this. Anyways, this isn't a job you drop everything FO nor can you live off. It's a side hustle and gets me the little things I want on the side. It's mostly Discord commissions, and I'm not telling you the type of art it is, too embarrassed. One time in elementary school, there was this really big important test. I was out sick that day, as were a handful of other kids, flu season. There were like 6 of us total who had to make up the test. We were put in a separate room and told to be quiet and focus on our tests. Our teacher would be checking on us very soon. A few minutes after she left, a voice calls out, "Does anyone know the answer to number 7? Next thing you know, we've got one kid looking out at the door while we all discuss and tell each other the answers. I think the teacher checked on us once after a while, but we were already mostly done and at a lull. We all got A's and high B's. I know this isn't a life-ruining secret, but I've been holding that in for almost 20 years lol. I often think of suicide. I have 2 kids and they're the only reasons I am here. Your kids love and need you, but you have worth beyond being a parent. Me and my wife make porn and watch them together. Then make more porn. Wife and I actually used to post ours to Reddit during our crazier years. Not sure what I was thinking there, but I'm perfectly okay with the fact that a substantial portion of Reddit has seen my junk. In 3rd grade, I cheated on my history exam. In 4th grade, I stole my Uncle Max's toupee and I glued it on my face when I was Moses in my Hebrew school play. In 5th grade, I knocked my sister Edie down the stairs and I blamed it on the dog. When my mom sent me to the summer camp for fat kids and then they served lunch, I went nuts and I pigged out and they kicked me out. But the worst thing I ever done, I mixed a pot of fake puke at home and then I went to this movie theater, hid the puke in my jacket, climbed up to the balcony and then I made a noise like this and then I dumped it over the side, all over the people in the audience. And then, this was horrible, all the people started getting sick and throwing up all over each other. I never felt so bad in my entire life.